first ever edition of the Puck Witches podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today is Saturday, September 21st, 2024, and we have a jam-packed inaugural show for you this week. Hi, Saint, how you doing?
Well, I looked at the score for the Penguins game.
No.
It was going okay.
That's fine. All right, before we start, we need to let y'all know that this is a vibes-based podcast, not necessarily a journalistic endeavor. There may be some times where we go off script and talk about a little bit more serious topics, but for the most part, we're just here to have fun with a show that's for the gays, girls, and theys of hockey. And we've got a lot to hit tonight. So firstly, we're going to talk about is Saint. What have you been up to this week?
Well, mostly sending you messages about hockey.
Yeah.
That's kind of, we do that every week, Pinky.
That is true.
We do that every second of every waking moment.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So with preseason getting close, we're not going to talk about hockey right off the start, but we are going to talk about hockey a lot this episode. So just
I need you on the no chat that the second we were like, this when we start talking about hockey, we're just gonna stop talking about it, go right to hockey, and we immediately mentioned hockey. So
no, back on track. No, so for the very first couple of episodes, all we're gonna be doing is talking about what's going on with our lives for the first, however long we want to talk about what's going on, and then we'll switch over to a little bit of fun segments about hockey. We've got a lot planned, but yeah, Saint.
We have more than a concept of a plan.
We have more than a concept of a plan.
We have a plan, several.
And with it being so close to preseason, there's a lot to talk about. Oh no, it is preseason.
It's the Puckomancer. I feel like Champ can be the Puckris, and I'll be the Puckomancer.
Puckomancer? Oh my god.
Yeah. Do you want to be the Puckomancer?
No, you can have Puckomancer.
Okay.
You can have that. I'll be. What was the other one?
Puckris.
Puckris. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Yep. Is it like Huntress?
Alec, I don't know if you know this, but Puck Witches rhymes with fuck bitches.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so
that was half the reason for this name.
So Saint, how have you been life-wise?
I'm staring at the NHL rules and you want me to not. Likewise, I bought a new beverage.
Okay.
Because I have a crippling soda addiction.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to break it. It's not working.
So you bought a new beverage?
No, so I bought a new beverage that is, instead of being the 250 calories that a Mountain Dew is only 70 calories and half the sugar, which is really not saying much because I don't know if you know this, soda is just sugar.
Yes.
Like it is simple syrup in a bottle with some Red 40 and flavoring.
Now, Saint, I don't know if you knew this, but I have a crippling Diet Coke addiction.
I did.
You did? Okay, so I think it's very important that you know that I knew this already.
Yeah, but see, your Diet Coke has less calories than my diet Mountain Dew.
It does do that.
Anyways, I was setting an end cap for my job, and it was the new promotion for it wasn't Nespresso. Keurig came out with the donut shop, which I feel like, this is topical, I feel like this is going to get hit with trademark infringement.
Okay.
Starbucks sells the strawberry acai refresher. Yes, right?
My favorite.
Refresher, yeah, also my favorite, hard to vouch, best flavor of the bunch.
Yeah.
Dragon fruit is underrated, but refresher, the strawberry one's best. Strawberry, all the way. It's the only thing I get. So, the thing is that Starbucks has, like, trademarked refresher.
Interesting.
As the Starbucks refreshers. Like, they're trademarked. So they have tried to come up with like people like Dunkin' came out with like the whatever their equivalent of that. Like, companies have tried to match the Starbucks refreshers. Yeah. But they've always picked different flavors as opposed to like a direct exact dupe for the most popular, which is strawberry acai. Yeah. Because it is the most popular by far. By like, I think it is insane. Like, when I worked at Starbucks, the numbers were just like half of their drinks are strawberry acai in the summer. But this donut shop line is called Refreshers, and the flavor is strawberry acai. And I'm like, but it's not Starbucks.
Yeah, they're literally asking for it.
So my only thought is that, like, is it because it's a Keurig product, it's exempt? Like, because it's no longer a direct beverage line in fast food versus it being a...
Oh, like, I still think it would have copyright issues.
Because it's definitely trademark. Because, like, I'm pretty sure if I, like, open the Starbucks app, I don't really shop, I don't go to Starbucks anymore. Fuck Starbucks. But, like, occasionally I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is handcrafted Starbucks refreshers. Has a little sign next to it, but it's no longer like a TM sign.
Interesting.
What is, yeah.
So you've gotten really into these drinks?
Well, I just tried it today, and they're all right.
Oh, well.
I think for the weekend, as opposed to drinking. So my compromise right now is, I work a physically demanding job that I need caffeine for.
Sure.
On the weekends, I think I'll drink this because I can drink like 2 or 3 of them for the same amount of calories as I could 1 can of soda. So I'm drinking these on the weekends, and it was on sale.
Okay, that's not a bad idea.
That's my life update.
You're like, you tried a new drink.
Oh, I tear gassed my house. That's probably more
okay. Yeah, you may need to elaborate on that.
So I grow hot peppers.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm gonna make hot sauce this year. I've never made hot sauce. I've only ever just done hot pepper jam and then dried the peppers. And every year that I've grown hot peppers since I started growing them, I always pepper gas the house.
Yeah.
The first year, it was like I was making habanero jam, and like, I mean, like, I don't know, habaneros are hot.
Yeah.
Homegrown habaneros are like 3 times hotter.
Why?
Like, because when you grow them at home, they usually go under more duress, and you let them get to peak ripeness.
Yeah, so you're not underripening it.
It's just one of those things that, like, anyone will tell you, a homegrown pepper is usually like way hotter than what you get in the supermarket. Like way hotter. Like, my jalapenos are pretty fucking hot. So anyways, I tear gassed my house one time making the habanero jam. Mm-hmm. It like literally tears in my eyes. The next year it was the Tabasco jam.
Yeah, I remember that one. I remember that one.
Yeah, and I think I sent you a Snapchat of me crying. Like, literal tears down my face crying. And then last year it wasn't as bad. It was because we learned, right? Yeah. Instead of dehydrating the peppers in the kitchen, we dehydrate them in the sunroom, which is an addition to our house. Right. So, like, it's separate. We can shut the door. We just tear gas the sunroom, and the rest of the house is fine. So yesterday I opened up my lacto fermented hot peppers, and I was like, they're starting to get comms yeast, and I don't want that because it adjusts the flavor, whatever. And I'm like, okay, gonna make hot sauce because why not? And I didn't tear gas or pepper gas, I guess, as bad as I had in previous years. But as you're chopping the peppers up to make the sauce, it just, like, my brother was like, I can smell it from the other side of the house.
That's so funny.
It wasn't as bad as it was in previous years. This is probably the least bad year. But I'm gonna have to do it 2 more times because I have 5 jalapeno plants and 3 cayenne pepper plants, and there's so many more peppers, like so many more.
Yeah, because aren't peppers like one of the plants that grows like zucchini, where it's
very prolific?
Yeah,
they're very prolific. So, like, the first harvest is like a good amount, and then the second harvest, now that we're getting, because surprisingly, peppers actually like cooler climates. They want the heat, and heat makes your pepper plants hotter. I have less corking on my peppers this year than I usually do. Sure. But they want shade, and they want a mix of hot and cold. They're like tomatoes. They need a little bit of stress in order to get the rest of the peppers like actually growing. So this second harvest is going to be a huge harvest.
And are you doing that? Are you doing that this year, or is it next year?
I mean, I have like
is your second harvest this year, or is it later?
Like, I could have harvested it today if I wanted to. Like, they're all red. So
now, are y'all getting any of the really cool temperatures?
We are now in it's not my least favorite time of year, but it's a frustrating one where you wake up and it's 60 and you leave work and it's 85.
Okay, so we're kind of that way. I thought this week it was really like rainy. I'll go into my life update a little bit, but it was really, really freaking rainy. And so I would wake up every morning, and it's to the point where now my tires are getting low You know when it gets really cold outside and the tires dip in... I need new tires. But
Yeah.
where the tires dip
Tires
in...
are so expensive now.
Yep. That's why I haven't gotten them. The tires were like dipping and I was like, oh man, I'm not going to think about that. And then by the afternoon, it's super nice. And you know, you don't have to worry about your tires being low. That's what's going on with my life is I'm worried about my tires. Yeah, so we had these crazy like cool mornings and then 90 afternoons. Yeah. And I'm like, just pick a direction.
Yeah, like I was all set for fall, so I thought. And we're not supposed to get like frost for another like at least 2 to 3 weeks. Probably closer to 3.
Then you get to grow more peppers.
It's a nicer growing season, but like we don't get the snow that we used to, and we don't get we get some
watch you jinx that for this year. That'd be really funny.
Who's to say? It's a El Nino this year? La Nina, whatever. I speak English. I don't know. I don't know verbs.
You're also talking to the weather bitch. I mean.
Yeah. I drive the car. You.
Yes. Oh my god. So another crazy weather thing that happened this week is, I know you knew it, but we had this massive storm come through, and it was on the day where there wasn't there were clouds in the sky, but you know the weather was moving that fast. And
where you look up at the sky and the clouds just go.
Yeah, and I was at my desk. It was like 6:00 in the evening. It was so nice outside, and I get a weather alert on my phone saying, "Hey, you're about to get hit by a massive storm." And I was like, sounds fake. But like, that's when you should be worried, is when I stop paying attention, because then it hits the fan. And the next thing, like
God heard you when he said bet.
You know, you know. And so I was looking at it, you know, I looked out my window and the sky was green. And I went, uh-oh. And so, but of course, in my brain, I see a green sky and I went, oh, that's neat. So I immediately went to the front door and I was looking out over it. And as I was standing...
You fucking Midwesterner standing out when a tornado's coming at you.
And so as I'm watching the sky, which it was at sunset, so like it's more likely to be a green sky. But I'm watching it and I'm like, man, this is cool. And Austin's like, it's not that green, because he's from Texas and, you know, he's seen green skies before. But I'm sitting there staring at it and all of a sudden the power starts flickering and I went, no. And unfortunately, God heard me and he went, yes. And the power completely went out. And so I decided I was not going to do this. This is the second time, by the way, in a month. Because I lost power on the weekend of my birthday and was out of power for 3 days. And then I lost power again on this past time. And I was like, I'm not doing this again. Because in the 3 days back in my birthday, we didn't go to my parents' house. We just sat in the heat and suffered because we hoped that it would come back on, and then it did not. And so this time I was like, I'm not doing that. And as I was driving out to my parents' house, it was like crazy. Like the storm had come through. It was so much lightning and had completely wiped out our shopping mall. The traffic lights were out. The restaurant row was out, and I was like sitting here going, I just thought it was like a little pop-up storm. It was like,
oh, my house just got unlucky enough to be cursed a little bit.
Which in the last storm, that's what happened. It was just rain, and then all of a sudden our power was out for 3 days. This time it was explosive lightning. I think what happened was a tree fell on a transformer because it took out close to 1,000 people, and so. I was like, man, I have made the right decision. Guess what time that fucking power came back on? It was 11 o'clock at night. The power went out at 7. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Why? So anyways.
That was, again, just God having a little laugh.
So I spent the night at my parents' house for basically no reason. I was like, not doing this tonight. And then I could have gone home and stayed at, whatever. It was fine. But that's my week. Yeah. That was my week. Crazy.
You didn't know, like, because if you had not
knowing my luck, yeah, I would have been.
You would have been out for 3 days. Yeah. We wouldn't be having this podcast.
Oh my god!
It is our 30th sub anniversary.
There you go, Matt. Yay!
Yay! That's very
Lord.
exciting.
Trey? What's 30 in Spanish?
Couldn't tell you, bestie.
Yeah, I know. We both took French.
Yep. I couldn't even. I don't even know. How to say it in French? I
don't either.
Trente?
Nope. Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe?
Listen, not our forte.
30 in French. Hold on.
Trente.
I was right. I'm always right,
there you
guys.
go. Whatever. Let's. You want to go right into hockey and talk about how right you are?
Yeah, I do want to talk about how right I am because I have opinions about these rule changes that I don't know about, even though I don't even know what the rule changes are. I know one rule change, and the rule change is that they're not allowed to sit on the bench. And as someone who watched the Bruins break the record for most too many men penalties in the playoffs, happy about that part. Not happy about that it's going to be a disaster.
All right, let's transition into the actual Puck Witches podcast part. Where we didn't make it. We made it 15 minutes, bud. All right, let's transition. There's an ad read that we have tonight. I don't know if you've heard of her.
We do have an ad read. Today's sponsor is Saint Astra, a Twitch streamer, cosplayer, and artist. You can support her by purchasing from her Etsy or subscribing on twitch.tv/Saint Astra. Use your free Prime sub and get access to cute little emotes. Saint Astra's Etsy also sells a variety of jewelry, decorations, and trinkets. Everything is handmade and crafted with the perfect balance of love and spite. All proceeds go directly to the Saint Astra Draisaitl Jersey Fund.
NHL Public Relations tweeted their new as
the reminder of the rule changes because I forgot there was rule changes.
There's
has been 2,000 years.
Oh God, it's true. I've missed hockey so much. I haven't missed the Pens losing by 6 though.
To be fair, they're getting walloped by an actual NHL team because I guess the Sabres wanted this to be a warm-up for them as opposed to it being a fun little... I feel like my rant will be about the misaligned expectations and rosters in preseason.
Before we start, we've not seen these rules. We waited to do this one. The one I know about, I think, is the offsides, but I don't remember what exactly.
And I don't know about that. So, and I know vaguely there's a coach's challenge.
Yeah.
The cinematography.
The cinematography.
The National Hockey League has approved a series of rule changes for the upcoming season. The first is an expansion of Rule 38.
Oh yeah, here's the coach's challenge.
Coach's challenge. Yeah. A coach's challenge can now be used to take down or rescind a delay of game penalty for puck out of play.
Oh, that's interesting.
This will only apply to penalties when the shot or batted puck is determined to have subsequently deflected off a player, stick, glass, or boards.
It being my Penguins.
It's very funny. A piece of that.
The coach's challenge will not apply to a judgment call as to how the puck left the defensive zone. In the event of a failed challenge, a second 2-minute minor penalty will be assessed, in addition to the existing delay of game penalty.
But this is only for delay of game.
A coach's challenge can only be used to rescind a penalty, not to add a penalty for a potential missed call.
And I don't disagree with that.
The next rule change is to Rule 63.8. Line change following a displaced net.
So you can't throw a tantrum.
Under the new rule, the defensive team cannot make a line change in the event a defensive player,
which is already
including the goaltender, accidentally displaces the net. Previously, the no line change rule only applied to a defensive skater, not the goaltender accidentally displacing the net.
How do you prove intent? No, I don't disagree with that one.
Up next is Rule 76.4, face-off procedure.
This I don't know about.
Following an icing, the offensive center will now also receive one warning, same as the defensive center, for a face-off violation.
As opposed to just
The warning will not result in the center being removed. A second violation will continue to result in a bench minor penalty for delaying the game.
What?
The next rule change is to Rule 75.2, unsportsmanlike conduct, players sitting on boards.
This is the bench.
The referee will now provide the offending team, coach and players,
that
with one
you're on the
warning
ice.
regarding players sitting
Yeah.
on the boards with
I
their
don't
skates
disagree with
exposed
this
during play.
at all.
After one warning, the team precipitating the warning will be
I
issued a
appreciate
bench
that they're
minor
moving
penalty.
to warnings
Yeah.
as opposed to just penalty.
The final rule change is to Rule 8.2, injured players. When a goalkeeper is removed from a
That's not
game for mandatory
already
medical
how the rule
evaluation,
Could've been.
the
Yeah.
replacement
What the
goalkeeper
fuck?
may
What
be
do you
afforded
mean?
a brief warm-up. Previously, no warm-up was allowed to the
They
replacement
allowed
goalkeeper.
it for the emergency backup goalies.
Thank you for watching. Enjoy the upcoming
That's
season.
a lot.
Okay, that's
That's
a
a
lot. The boards one absolutely makes sense. I appreciate that one a lot, especially because there's a video. I don't remember if you know. It was one of Jens's ones where there's a player on the ice and his stick gets stolen. Well, he's he's not on the ice. He's on the boards, and his stick gets stolen. That's valid. Like, you're basically a too many men call. You know, you deserve it.
And that's how I, like, as funny as it is to see the little legs dangling, like, it's cute, don't get me wrong. I think that, especially with a lot of times where too many men was very inchy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there has been a lot of, like, are they jumping on? Are they jumping off? Like, I'm actually surprised that hasn't been a rule for a lot longer. The warm-up thing? What do you mean
wasn't
that
it?
hasn't been the whole fucking time? Like, so the only time I saw it was, because we don't usually have, I've seen the video of the emergency backup goalie with the Carolina Hurricanes and the Maple Leafs. He was an emergency backup goalie, so obviously they gave him a warm-up. I think is like, I don't know if that's standard or if that was just a special thing because this man has not been in hockey professionally for like he was a Zamboni driver.
So good.
Yeah, a fucking story of a lifetime. Truly one of my favorite hockey stories. But I can't. That's how it always should have been. Like, what the fuck? The coach's challenge for puck over the glass, I don't necessarily disagree with it, but I think it's one of those things where
I wonder how many will get called for, like, how many coaches will risk it. You know what I mean?
Because that's what I mean is, like, the problem with one of the main problems I have with the NHL is you have reviews.
Yeah.
And when you call for a review, the call on the ice impacts the review. Then why the fuck do we have a review? Like, it's like, it's when we do goals, right? Like, you don't, if something is called a goal on the ice, that changes the impact of what the goal is or, like, what the review is. Why? It either is a goal or it isn't. It's irrelevant. Like, so to me, the challenges are a good thing, but the risk for it means that it's never gonna get implemented. And for a penalty like puck over the glass, it's just, I don't know.
It's I mean, I understand where they're coming from.
Because but I think that most players don't fucking do it on purpose. That's my thing. Is like 90% of the time, they know they're gonna take the penalty. They don't want to take the penalty. Yeah. Like they're gonna do it sometimes just by accident. I also don't see the point in failed challenges.
So
minor penalty.
It's because if the coach thinks another, like, an defenseman, whatever, the other team hit it with a stick or something, and they're like, oh, well, we have the momentum, we want to keep the momentum going, and they challenge it, and then it's found to be not, that they didn't hit it out, like, it was entirely delay of game, then that is, the 2 minutes is intense. Like, that's
the second minor penalty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Another minor penalty is intense. Oh, that's a big one.
I do like that it's only used to rescind a penalty. For me, the fact that they've changed this, but we haven't gotten jailbreak is
I want jailbreak
annoying.
so bad. Jailbreak? Can you explain what jailbreak is?
All right, jailbreak is a rule in the Professional Women's Hockey League where when your player gets sent to the penalty box and you are shorthanded, if you score a shorthanded goal, you get your player out of the box.
Which is so funny to me.
Which is so funny, first of all. And second of all, I think it makes it completely changes the way power plays are played. Yeah. And that's what I want. I'm not necessarily against how they are now, but when you're the defending team you
already run the risk.
You're already screwed. Like, you know what I mean? So you're like, you take the risk to get a shorthanded goal. Most of the time, it ends up with you actually giving up a goal yourself because now you've left your defense one short.
Yeah.
Or two short. Maybe you effectively killed the power play, you know, like maybe it's good. But instead, you should have just iced the puck.
Yeah.
So this encourages risky play
to get the player out of the box.
To get the player out of the box, because and then on the few occasions that you manage to score on the other team's power play, it's so demotivating because you're like, well, we scored a goal, but he still has 60 seconds left on the power play, and now we still have to defend. And when I'm all about second chances in games. I think that's why we liked Overwatch so much. So like, I don't want it to be abused, but I
you think
that
about how many
risk,
shorties did we have in the regular season?
I couldn't even
tell you. We started this.
How many?
For example, for those who do not know us, Saint and I got Saint into hockey, and our lives have been changed ever since. But we didn't get into. Go ahead.
There is not much fucking AI.
There hasn't been Saint and I have been really like paying attention to hockey since
like
February.
Less than 50 probably. Yeah. Like around that.
And most of those were Connor Brown.
Yeah.
They said you were watched, Connor Brown.
They said you were watched, Connor Brown.
We went to a Golden Knights game, and that was my first ever hockey game, and she willingly went along with me. And we were walking out of the hockey game. I know we tell this story every time, but it's true. We were walking out of the hockey game, and Saint gets real quiet and goes, you know, I think you can send me a couple videos about hockey. And by the end of the month, we were going to a Pens game. So I mean, like it hit hard and fast. We're still learning. We're obsessed, but we're still learning. Which is why like the face-off procedure one is the one that's kind of baffling to me, because the following an icing, the offensive center will now receive one warning, which is the same as the defensive player for a face-off violation. And then if they fail, they get, what's it called?
So it says a warning will not result in center being removed. Second violation will result in a bench minor penalty.
Which is bonkers. Because would there be a player that would have to...
It's half the fun of face-offs.
Yeah.
Like,
you're trying to taunt them. You're just you're going to wait till the drop happens? Like, that's the fun. So it's just... They started giving penalties to keep players from trying to jump the puck early, which I get. But...
I get it, but like, you just threw them out.
Yeah, just throw them out. Literally. It's not going to delay the game that much.
Yeah, like, if anything, hockey is so fast-paced all the time. You know what I mean?
So, this is the official rule from 6 years ago. Keep that in mind. The puck shall be faced off by the referee or the linesman dropping the puck on the ice between the sticks of the players facing off. Players facing off will stand squarely facing their opponent's end of the rink, approximately one stick length apart, with the blade of their stick on the ice. When the face-off takes place at any of the 9 face-off spots, the players taking part shall take their position so that they stand squarely and clear of the ice markings. They must have the blade on the ice within the designated white area. Let me see. If the center is back from the face-off spot, is quarterbacking, or refused to come off the face-off area when instructed to do so, or the center is simply slow to getting to the face-off spot when the 5 seconds has elapsed, the puck shall be dropped. If the center attempts to arrive at the face-off spot just as the 5 seconds elapses in an attempt to gain advantage to win the face-off, he gets an icing infraction, and the center attempts to arrive at the face-off just as the 5 second elapse given an advantage to win the face-off, he shall not be removed from the face-off. The center will be warned by the linesman if he is committed a face-off violation. In the end, the center that commits a second face-off violation, a bench minor penalty shall be assessed. So it sounds like it was kind of already in place, but...
It's just it sounds like they're just being stricter. Like, basically, listen to the fucking refs. Don't.
Leon.
It's going to be interesting because there's been a lot of, so does this mean, like, okay, so famous example that I really, really loved. Penguins were playing a game last season where it was the Penguins last season. Yeah. Enough said.
Yeah.
But.
Oh, when Sid?
So the Penguins kept losing the faceoffs. I mean, it was pretty bad. Sid Crosby intentionally got himself thrown out of the faceoff so that he could go and intercept the puck when the other team won the faceoff.
Yeah.
So I guess does that, like, can he do that again? Like, are you gonna get in trouble for being thrown out of the face-off, or is it just repeated offense? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. We're gonna learn. Like, this is gonna be one of those things that we're like, why did that get? I don't know. And then we're gonna have to listen to fucking Bobby Armstrong tell me what's going on, and like.
All right, what's the rest of the rule changes? We also
because
have...
because it says warning will not result in the center being removed. Second violation will result in a bench minor penalty.
That just feels like just kick him out of the circle.
Is that not what
happened? I don't know. We're gonna have to learn.
Minor penalty is a 2 minute.
Yeah, and you'd have to pull.
So you're getting a 2 minute penalty for fucking.
I don't know. That seems excessive.
Said, why do we need to update or change the rules? The refs don't even know the rules to begin.
The one about the dislodged net and the line change, that one makes sense. You know, you're not gonna defensive team cannot make a line change in the event its goaltender accidentally not dislodges the net. It's just, you know.
Which I feel like
and
is fair
it was the old language.
It removes the
old language applied just to the skater. Now it applies to the entire line, so it's just an adjustment. That one's fine. I'm still laughing at the players sitting on the boards. That one's really funny.
Yeah.
No more swingy legs.
I think it doesn't happen often enough, but it was happening, I think.
In the playoffs it was.
Yeah, it was.
Well, all right. Well, that's gonna be an interesting adjustment for the new season.
Yeah, this is also what someone pointed out is, and I kind of agree with this, because there's a lot of judgment call issues that I have for referees in the NHL, which I understand. Being a referee in the NHL is probably one of the hardest referee jobs, if not the hardest referee jobs. I have a lot of respect for them. However, I think there's a lot of judgment calls that, because of I feel like there's no accountability for referees. Like, there's no, dude, we looked and you missed like 20 fucking calls because someone said the face-off is sort of a joke.
I'm still thinking about that.
What the linesman mood is. Is a player going to cheat the face-off multiple times to never be booted? You're gonna see them throw someone. You see them throw someone out of a face-off all the time just for breathing. Because, like, we've talked about that constantly, where we're like, why did he get tossed? Like, what did he do to get tossed? And it just happens all the time that power tripping is going to be at an all-time high, I fear.
The one that strikes me most with this same line of conversation is when we found out that the Panthers had not lost a game when a certain referee was in play. I don't remember which referee it was. But it was like, geez, okay.
Because it's not like, and it was one of those things where in the opposite, and again, referees have a really hard job.
They do. Not discrediting that at all.
Hockey is also just a lot of fucking luck of the puck, and shit happens. Mm-hmm. For a ref to have nothing, like, one team has won every single time that person has reffed and they've been together. That's, I feel like, statistically insane.
Yeah.
Like, just off the fucking charts insane. So, and I think that was the one time they didn't. I think we beat them that round.
We did. It was great.
That game. And I almost wonder if it was because literally
he saw that and he
we
went,
didn't
ooh.
earn it. But I think, like, if I remember correctly, we fought pretty fucking hard that game.
I'm still remembering, we're getting close to our rants. I'm still remembering the why they threw Fogues out. I don't understand what he could have done. I think that was definitely deserving of a penalty. This is game two of the Stanley Cup Finals this past year, 2024. When they threw Fogle out, and
it was any other player. It's fucking playoff hockey. It is. Regular season.
He deserved the penalty. He deserved the
penalty 100%.
I don't think he deserved
to be removed from the game.
No.
It wasn't even like a 10-minute, like, fucking T'Chuk Bowl. It's like, okay, a 10-minute misconduct, fine.
For everybody on the ice.
To remove a player from the game that does not happen often in recent times. I don't know if it happened a lot before, but it's not something that I saw a whole lot in the regular season that we had watched from February onwards. That, like,
not major of a penalty. There was the one when we were at the Pens game, they basically threw him out. He had so many penalties on him. But he didn't deserve that either.
But he didn't
deserve that either.
Yeah. And there's a difference between, like, removing a player... Like, okay, so LA Kings game, right?
Yep.
In the playoffs.
Again, like, for people who don't know, Saint and I are Oilers and Pens fans. Take that with what you do.
Die hard.
Yep.
So, like, and I am not a Kane fan, but it got to the point in, what was it, game 3? That Kane wasn't even at the point doing anything wrong.
They just
put him. It was one of those, like, everyone on the ice had a visceral reaction to his presence, that him being on the ice was a danger to everyone else and a disruption to the game. Yeah. And I think that, like, you need, I don't know what, like, I get it, because you don't want to reward a player for being a rat bastard. Yeah. Like, I'm thinking, like, Tkachuk or Marshy in the olden days. You don't want to reward him for being such a menace that, like, removing him is a good point. Like, you are disruptive to play. Every time you come on the ice, somebody's fucking fighting, and somebody is like, we're getting a penalty call. There's a brouhaha. One of my favorite games of the playoffs. It was so fucking funny. We just spent the whole time going, what the hell happened? What is going on? What is going on? That was the whole game. What's going on? I don't know. They kept... The officials didn't know what was going on, because watching the live ESPN updates, they were attributing penalties to people that weren't even on the ice.
That weren't even, I don't even know if they were on the roster for the night.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you? They attributed a penalty that the Kings got to an Oilers player who was, like, not even there. It's just wild. But so you don't want to, like, necessarily reward Kane or Tkachuk or Marchand for being a rat bastard.
An instigator. But, let's try that first.
For being an instigator. But at the same time, that's part of the psychology of the game, of, like, you know, getting under their skin to a degree.
It's why you chirp.
Yeah, but why, like, in the same vein of, like, I think it's okay. Like, part of me wants to be like, why should he get tossed out because the other people can't chill the fuck out?
But at the same time, like, we're never getting anywhere with this game.
At the same time, I understand. Well, my thought was, like, all right, if you toss a player out who does not present a, like, he's not the one throwing punches. Yeah. Other people, so he's instigating, but he's not the one, you know, actually causing the problems. Do you, in some way... okay, well, we got to throw someone else out from the Kings because they're, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That was a fun game. That was a really fun game, especially only because we won. If we'd lost, I would have lost my mind, because it was just a shit show.
It was a mess.
The officiating.
I felt bad for the Kings players.
I literally did, because I was like, nobody knew what was going on.
Kings fans, that's the only time I'll feel bad for you, by the way.
The announcers didn't know what was going on. Everybody's like, I think, like, I remember they were like,
it was also 1 a.m.
It was so fucking
it was so late.
So fucking long. And we just sat there and we're like, oh good, another brawl. Like, and nobody was like throwing the gloves. I think that was something that was missing from the playoffs this year, was like, I think nobody was like throwing the gloves down and swinging haymakers.
Except for that Avalanche game. Who were they playing? The Jets?
It was the Jets.
Yeah. Where they, I mean, nasty injuries, but
yeah. Which, it was one of those scenarios where you're like, holy fuck.
That could have been that guy. So bad.
That guy could have lost his hand. Yeah. But also, maybe we don't, I don't know. Maybe we don't start line brawls after you've already lost.
Yeah, really?
Like, maybe we do that before. Like, I guess it means you were injured for the off season, but like, I don't know.
All right, well, let's. I'm gonna call a penalty box on you. Sorry, Saint. You got 2 minutes for slashing. I need you to head to the box.
Head into the box.
All right, so for the penalty box, this segment we got right now, the penalty box is Saint has 2 minutes to go on a rant about anything that she wants to talk about. Anything hockey related, she can go on a rant and talk about. I'm gonna set a clock for 2 minutes. Give me a sec. Saint, do you have your topic in mind?
I do, as a matter of fact. I had to think about it.
Get in the box!
I had to think about it.
Get in the box! All right, ready? Here we go. You got 2 minutes, go.
All right. So, pricing in hockey is stupid. We are going to Boston this year. I understand it's an expensive city. I get it. Tickets for the lower bowl, one row, behind the glass should not be the same as the upper bowl back line. Why? And the NHL and Fanatics just revealed like the new line.
Literally tonight.
This is my segue. Literally tonight. So we're topical. All right. The Authentic Pro, the Premium, the Breakaway, the Practice. I'm happy about the Practice jerseys. I think that's a cool addition. Breakaways, all right. Premium, Authentic Pro. Why am I putting a down payment on a house for a fucking jersey? It's not like it's vintage. It's not. As someone on Twitter said, the player better come with it. Am I getting a kiss on the cheek from Sid Crosby? Then I'm not paying $800 for this jacket. There is no way from the Fanatics company that you could ever convince me to pay almost $1,000, because everybody's like, oh, well, you know, it's a couple hundred. No. If you want a name on it, they tack on more. They're not even listing. Oh, yeah. Here it is. The fucking $120 for the Practice, $425 for the Authentic Pro. $425 for the Authentic Pro. That's the base price. I think it was someone was launching it on the Ice District website for the Authentic Pro. Where is it? I have to do my research because I'm a true
20
journalist.
seconds.
Fuck. It's too expensive. It's too much goddamn money. I'm all for supporting the players. I am all for supporting like the sport of hockey. But how much money is Fanatics getting to issue shit jerseys? If it does not have sweat stains from Leon Draisaitl on it, I don't want it for $900.
4, 3,
Again, things are
2,
hockey, please.
1. And you're out of the box. All right, good job. That's so funny. Oh my god. You're like, I gotta do my research. I was like, you do not have time, bud.
No, listen, I needed to look and see what the total was, because someone had posted it on Twitter, and it was like, when he went to go add a name to it, it jumped the Canadian price to like $780.
Why?
Canadian, and I was like,
listen,
what
again, I don't think an authentic jersey from Fanatics should cost the fucking same as tickets to a Boston game against the Leafs. Like that.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Like, I could be Puck on glass. You know what I'm saying? I could have Puck. I could be like in the glass seats, and it's almost the same as buying one of these jerseys in Boston, nonetheless.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, all right. Good job. You made it out of the box. They did not score. I'll give you that. They did not score.
Cool. Penalty kill.
You did it. You nailed it. So now we're going to transition into our second topic of the night, which is another topic that we saw this week.
Matt went Boston like a fucking seagull.
Boston. We're going to talk about our second topic of the night, which is what was the second topic? Oh, the NHL expansion.
Oh, yes. Which, have we confirmed that this is a legitimate expansion?
No, I think it's just in discussion.
I think it's just rumors.
Yeah.
Right?
I know that they wanted to do another expansion, but I don't know if it's been
NBA franchise owner Tillman Fertitta rumored to be eyeing an NHL expansion team in Houston's 18 hours ago. They just updated it on the Wikipedia page. Okay. So, first of all, let me make my point.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me be clear. 32 is the number. 32 is the number. It's 16, everything divides by the 32 perfectly. 16 for the conferences, the way that the divisions work for like the Atlantic versus the Metro versus the West, like it just works perfectly. That being said, if you want to fuck it up, you cannot fuck it up in increments of 2.
Yeah.
You have to add 1 per division. You need 4. There is no, you can't do it. You cannot add 1 team to the West and 1 to the East.
Yeah.
It just doesn't fucking work. Like,
and the 2 that they pitched this year was, this week was Houston and Atlanta?
Atlanta had their time, okay? Like, Atlanta had the Thrashers, and they tried. I don't think, and we've talked about this in Discord, but, like, I think that it has, I understand why they want Atlanta. It's a major hub. It has the busiest airport in the United States.
In the world, flights. Isn't it in the world?
Is it the busiest in the world? It probably is.
Atlanta airport, busiest in the airport.
I know it's the busiest in the United States.
In the world. I can't type. It's Atlanta. It's damn. Because it's the Delta.
Yeah.
It's the Delta hub.
It's the Delta hub. Yeah, and I mean it's the United States. Like our domestic is insane. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that it's just unfortunate that this is being brought up right after they got rid of the Arizona Coyotes, and moved it to Utah, which was a choice. And then, because I would love to see hockey back in the desert. I think
I truly believe that, and that we will rant about the jersey situation.
Yes. Oh my God, the jerseys.
Like, to lose the Arizona Coyotes was tragic. The history, it was a very tumultuous time in terms of like it in the NHL.
Yeah.
Like, and I get it. The last expansions were the Knights and the Kraken, but they weren't introduced together.
Were they not?
No, Vegas Knights were introduced 2017 to 2018. They, which, if I hadn't already gotten my penalty box, I would be ranting about the fucking Vegas Golden Knights and how they got gifted the fucking Stanley Cup. And then the Seattle Kraken were introduced in 2021 to 2022.
I didn't realize it was that recent.
I forget that the Kraken were that recent.
I'm
seeing
the Kraken,
and I forget they were like 2 years ago. Like,
during COVID.
Literally.
During COVID.
Yeah, during COVID is rough, and I feel like they've done, honestly, everybody's like, it's the Kraken. I think for pretty fucking good for being only 2 years old.
You know, for thinking about it, it's like Seattle, I have learned, is a very big sports city. I mean, they have what's the football team name? I don't remember.
Seahawks?
Yeah, thank you. They have the Seahawks. This shows how much I pay attention to other sports.
Yeah. Which is just saying none.
Yeah.
Wait.
They have the Seahawks, and then they have a baseball team, and I know that they are like really into their sports.
Didn't we lose though other teams for them? Like we lost the Thrashers, right? You know what I mean?
Was that for the Kraken though?
Well, the Thrashers, I thought were to the Jets, maybe.
That was, yeah, because they moved and then they changed the Jets name.
It was the Atlanta Flames went and became the Calgary Flames because the Calgary Flames were one of the expansions.
Yeah.
And then there's the Anaheim Ducks, Florida Panthers, Seattle Kraken, San Jose Sharks. So I think we were thinking that the Sharks have been around for a while.
Yeah.
That's
who I'm
Winnipeg.
thinking of.
So the original Winnipeg Jets became the Phoenix Coyotes, which then became the Arizona Coyotes.
Right.
And the Arizona Coyotes are now defunct.
Which is sad.
Which I think is frustrating in that the Winnipeg Jets lost their original history.
Yeah.
Like their league stuff, like all their stats moved to the Phoenix Coyotes.
Yep.
And then the actual Winnipeg Jets came back. Which was from... Where are you on the fucking list?
Because they weren't Jets before, were they?
Why am I thinking? Because we had the Thrasher. I tried because there was it was the New England Whalers, the Hartford Whalers, and then the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Why are you not showing me the fucking? Yeah, and the Minnesota Stars went to the Dallas because the Minnesota North Stars moved to the Dallas Stars. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
Yeah. That's what I mean. If you one of these days you and I are gonna get into like the lore of like the hockey teins, and it's gonna
not
make
the
me
OG
lose
6.
my mind. Yeah.
Now we have talked a little bit about it. We said that Atlanta has had their time.
Hockey belongs to, Atlanta had their time. I understand why they want to re-expand.
I would get it, but it would have to be a whole thing. Like if they did it again, we've talked about how we want them to have 16 teams or 4 more teams. Where would you like to see another team be added?
So if we're keeping the 2 expansions that are rumored, Houston,
I agree
Atlanta.
with. I think Houston is fine.
Houston is fine. I think it would be really fun for the Battle of Texas.
Yes, I agree.
Because I'm always pro Battle of whatever.
Yeah.
Because we also do plan on visiting Texas at some point. So I think that would be a lot of fun. Houston, Atlanta. I want the Coyotes back.
I do too.
I want the Coyotes back. I think they deserve it. And I would go New Orleans.
Yep. So we were looking at teams for football teams as to where big cities could go, and it was either a toss up between Baltimore, which is close to the Capitals, but I get it, like, because we have the Washington football team now is right there, which when I was growing up I didn't realize that the Washington football team was a Virginia team or a DC team. I always thought it was out west. I don't know why. And
Oh yeah, because you think of Washington.
Yeah,
Thanks America
yeah,
for naming
yeah.
two things.
And then Baltimore has the Ravens, and so it would like I think be neat if they had the Baltimore whatever for their hockey team.
I would see Baltimore. Baltimore, I would.
And
be okay
like
with.
I don't care that they're that close because then you could make it like a metro fight for whatever. But I really like NOLA. Like I think that would be you could do such good vibes with that.
The jerseys,
we could have would be fantastic. They'd be the puck witch's color. They'd be teal and purple, and we'd finally have a good purple jersey. Thank you, LA Kings.
Yeah, for fucking. Do you want to hear the absolute disaster that is the history of transfers for the NHL teams?
For what?
For like modern teams.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Atlanta Flames
became
1972
Calgary
to 1980 got moved to Calgary.
And now we have to fight them.
Yeah,
Battle of Alberta.
Which I'm okay because again I
enjoy.
always
Yeah,
like more
that's fine.
battles. The Colorado Rockies became the New Jersey Devils in the 1980s.
That's a bizarre move. Okay.
Yes, 1990s and 1980s were crazy for hockey. Hi, Kaya. The Minnesota North Stars became the Dallas Stars.
Okay.
Which I understand. However, I also understand where again it's frustrating when you lose the history because they have a Minnesota team now and it's a different team. The Quebec Nordiques became the Colorado Avalanche.
I understand that one.
Yeah. I would if New Orleans didn't want it. I understand Quebec City.
Yeah, another Canada team.
Yeah. And Winnipeg Jets became the Phoenix Coyotes.
R.I.P.
Yeah, rip in pieces. And then, but
hockey belongs to the desert.
But wait, I believe that the Phoenix Coyotes died and did not resurrect as the Arizona Coyotes, correct?
Oh,
I
don't
think
know.
they just had the rights. I don't think they kept the records. I could be wrong. The Hartford Whalers.
That's what? That's New Hampshire?
Connecticut. That's actually what the Boston Fleet's Whalers logo is inspired by. Which became the Carolina Hurricanes.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the
I will always support the Hurricanes because they're close. So sorry.
Yeah, which is fine. Whatever.
I needed the
Carolina
Carolina team.
Thrashers became the Winnipeg Jets.
So which is what had twice.
That's why I was so feral because the Atlanta's had not one chance but two.
Yeah.
2 chances. Third time's the charm. I don't feel like that applies here because look at the timelines for it, right? So the timelines for the Atlanta Flames was 1972 to 1980. So that's 8 years, but that was a pretty good time
for hockey.
And then the Atlanta Thrashers is 1999 to 2011.
I didn't realize it was that recent.
Dude, it gets referenced. Like when I'm looking at old posts, people talk about the Thrashers game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's that recent.
It's just funny because as people who got into hockey late, we're just missing so much lore. And by late, I mean we're just babies in the fandom.
In the fandom, we're babies. Which is why we're saying, by the way, I think that more people in fandoms should get into sports.
Yep.
And then I think more people in sports should get into. I don't think they should get into fandoms,
but they would understand it better. They can have that like knowledge of it's the same thing, just a show rather than a sports team.
Yeah.
Or a video game rather than a sports team.
Yeah. It's the same shit of like when people used to be like, why are you watching? This was a long time coming. We were watching like Overwatch and stuff like that. It's fun. You know what it is? It's competency porn. I want to see people be good at stuff.
Yes.
Like as an American, that's one of my favorite things. Yes. As an American, one of my favorite things is to see people doing their jobs well.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I don't care what it is. I want to see you be doing what you do best. Kansas City did have a hockey team. It was this Kansas City Scouts.
Listen, I'm just gonna say right now, as if they do another expansion, they better have some good freaking names lined up, because I was thoroughly disappointed in the names for the PWHL. Just saying. The Fleet is the only one that's decent, and even then, it was not my first choice, so I'm disappointed.
We also didn't pick it on the name. We picked it on the logo.
We picked it on the color. Yep.
You see
we have not really paid attention to the actual logistics of the
anything
team.
about it, but look at this.
But the color is perfect.
Look at this hoodie. I would look so good in this. I'd look so good in this.
I'm just
chat.
saying.
Like...
I'm just saying. The color of the jersey is what sold us, and
isn't that called phthalo green? Is that
I thought it was like Viridian. I could be wrong. All I know is Pokemon lore. Anyways,
I don't know. It's pretty close to phthalo green, like a darker phthalo green.
It's a royal green, which I liked.
Yes, that's what I like. The cool.
It's verdant. It's verdant. Verdant. Verdant.
Okay,
verdant?
That's the official one.
Verdant.
Look up phthalo green. PHTALOS, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
You'll see that it's very similar.
It's very similar to verdant.
Yeah, it looks like they have also remorse more merch.
Merch, great, because I can't afford it. Can't afford it
because the Peace Collective was way overpriced.
Yeah.
The regular, it's not much better, but like the regular T-shirt is 35 or 30. Like they have ones that are 30 to 35.
I am gonna draw your attention to what I have just sent you in Discord. That's a very important thing for you to see. Anyways,
Hockey is so back. Shut up.
What I have just seen is that the Pins are losing. Are they still losing, or the game over?
It is a full juniors AHL roster for Pittsburgh,
right.
and is mostly the regular line for the. It's literally.
It's not your turn for a puck rant.
Can I get a major?
You need a major to bitch about hockey.
I had a rant planned, and then I got remembered that I was because my original penalty rant was going to be my disagreement in how the preseason rosters are determined, and that there needs to be some kind of gentleman's agreement not to fucking pull out your big guns against some AHL guys. And I got so upset about hockey prices that I forgot I lived in a world where I have to watch the Pittsburgh Penguins lose 6-1 because they're playing against an NHL level team.
Oh man, I love that tweet. Okay.
Champ, I'm giving you a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh no! All right, we'll set a timer for 2 minutes. I do have a rant planned. It's one I've been thinking about for I don't know, like 171 days now. But I'll wait patiently for you to tell me when to go because I'm just taking my time to get to the box.
Hold on, I gotta get a timer.
Yeah, there you go.
Hold on.
I'm taking my sweet time to get to that box. I cannot believe you called unsportsmanlike on me.
I can't believe.
That's so rude. Get in the box, Quinn.
Oh my god, please get into the box. All right, ready?
Yeah, here we go.
Get in the box.
I'm in the box.
3, 2, 1, go.
Motherfuckers, why have you not signed Jeremy Swayman? He is the best chance you have this season. I understand that you've got a bunch of babies on your team and a bunch of good prospects on your team, but why have you not signed the goalie who carried you through the fucking playoffs? He is important to your team roster, and you have 17 days until the start of the season. Now, I am a big Boston Bruins fan. Dad, I'm so sorry. But, however, listen, I just need you to understand that I would feel so upset if it gets to the December 1st deadline and they have not signed him. And like he wouldn't be able to play for the rest of the season. So why would you risk it? Just let him pay him whatever whatever money he wants. I don't care if it's $10 million. He deserves it. He carried you the fucking playoffs. And the other thing that you did was you sold his wife before you signed him. And that is the number one problem as to why I feel like he is so disheartened by signing again for less money. He's not in it for the team because you betrayed his trust by selling Ullmark to the Ottawa Senators. And I don't understand. The only good thing about this is that the fact that they did confirm today that there isn't a trade on the horizon, which would fucking suck because I want to go to Boston and I want to get a what?
45
I want to go to Boston and I want to get a Jeremy Swayman jersey. I chose Boston for this Boston trip so that we could go see Jeremy Swayman be hot as fuck, guarding that little goal of his. And now there's a chance. And there's a chance that he will not be signed by December 1st, and I will lose my ever-loving mind. Now, do I think he's going to get signed? Yes. Do I think it's going to be before the season? Probably not, which will kill me because he's out for contract disputes, and I'm going to lose my mind because we're going to start the Boston Bruins season without Jeremy Swayman on the line. And he doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve that. He just deserves to have all the money he wants because he carried you to the fucking playoffs. And I don't think you understand how important he is to your team. And I'm so upset about this Jeremy Swayman thing. I cannot believe that they have not signed Jeremy Swayman. Don Sweeney, I'm out for your blood.
I think that I think that the possibility of him not being signed is so funny.
Oh my god.
That we have planned an entire Boston trip because we fell in love with the Boston Bruins by accident.
By accident.
We were like, us falling in love with the Boston Bruins is a definition of fuck around and find out, because we were like, what if we watch the two funny goalies who look like they love each other all the time? And then I learned about Brad Marchand and Patrice Bergeron, and then I was like, oh. And it was all over.
And then all of a sudden we were watching them through the playoffs and making sure that they won, and then Jeremy Swayman carried them to the fucking playoffs, and then we had to suffer.
I don't think he's worth 10 mil. I think an 8 mil deal is reasonable.
I know why, but I think that's why he's pushing, is because they traded Ollie. Like,
and that, like, as the sidebar or continuation, I think it's insane that he traded he has 2 Vezina winning goalies.
Ollie had
that's the thing. Ottawa is being vastly underrated. I don't know if it's just because they have a history of killing their players slowly.
Spirits.
But they just crush each other's. But Ottawa has now goaltending is such a critical thing, obviously. Obviously you need to score the goal. Obviously you need to defend. But if you have a shit goalie, there's nothing on earth that can save you. Yeah. Unless your defense can do all they want.
And we're saying this as a team that has we have 2 teams that have very hot and cold goalies. Yeah. They're either really on or they're really off. And we've been on the other end of it. So we're watching it going, you should invest in your goalies.
Yeah. And look at for the Olympics is that's a huge concern is that the Canadian teams or the Canadian team does not have the goalie caliber that the American team does. And I'm not saying that I think, because who'd they get? Kopitar?
Oh, I don't even know.
Kopitar
is it this year?
I think it's
Are the Olympics this year or next year? No, we just had the Olympics, so it's next year.
We had the summer 2 years from now. It's 4 Nations is this year. Because I'm, again, I could rant about hockey forever.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm a little, I think we could have gone to the 4 Nations game, but the tickets probably would have been
exponential.
But no All-Stars. And I think that is not necessarily a mistake. But you need the crackhead energy to balance out the I want to kill you energy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You gotta have a little bit of wackadoodle to balance out that but I'm excited to see I think because COVID fucked us for so many different, and then Russia and all of that, there's just been a lot of stuff where we're not getting to see competition internationally the way that we used to. Yep. So I am really excited for 4 Nations, especially Team Canada.
Well, so for that, we are going to switch over to our last segment of tonight's show, which is
I can't believe it's already 9:30.
I know. We're going to switch over to our new segment called Sportsmanlike Contact, where we're spinning a wheel.
Do you have a link to the wheel?
I do not, but I will get you one. We have to say something nice about the Boston Bruins! Oh my god!
You get so excited if you out.
We have to say something nice about the Boston Bruins.
Anyways,
you want to go first? You go first.
Game. Anyways, hold on. I accidentally went to Ticketmaster because I typed in Boston Bruins, and it went to the game that we're trying to go to.
I got so excited, my poor Mike.
Boston Bruins, my nice thing about you is that I'm going to get to see you play 2 games in February.
By accident.
And the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm really excited because I think that your city is beautiful.
All right.
Yeah.
I know I just spent a fucking
You're
two minutes in the box talking about how mad I am about Boston. However, that's because I love Boston a lot. I'm so excited to go and experience Boston hockey because I feel like it's going to be the closest thing that we get to experience to Edmonton.
Yes, until we go
to Edmonton, because it's such a vibe. That's a hockey city, like that, or not even a sports city. It's a sports city.
It's a sports city, but it is a hockey city, you know.
And so I'm just so excited to get to experience that, like that whole vibe. And I will be nice if you sign Jeremy Swayman.
Yeah.
Thank you, Boston. That's gonna be it.
I can't make our friendship bracelets until they sign Jeremy
Swayman. You can't. I'm stuck suffering without Jeremy Swayman. I don't go on a rant about him. I'll talk about that gift. I don't need this right now. But yes, that is our two nice things that we get to say. We are having that wheel where we get to say we'll spin it every week.
Yeah, I'll get when Champ sends it to me, we'll get the visual.
Yeah.
So that you can see me spin it or see her spin it.
But yeah, so we get to do that every week. We have to pick a team where we have to say something nice about them, and there are a lot of teams we don't have anything nice to say about. So it's
there's a lot of, actually. There's some teams that it's like, which I think would be fun to do, is a tier list.
Yeah, I did.
And I'm really bad at the tier list. I know you did. I'm really bad at the tier list because I have too much nuance in my brain.
Yes.
And I go, but that one had Patrick Marleau. Oh, but that had, I also have underdog appreciation where I'm like, oh, but they've never won a cup, and I would be really, except you Blues, fuck you.
Except you Blues, fuck you. That's another tangent for another week.
Peter Joseph, you're so mad.
All right, that's it. We're not.
Okay, we have 3 minutes before we're gonna switch over to DVDs.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. I'm so sorry for the chaos. I'm not that sorry, but I'm sorry.
Not that sorry.
That's what we get to look forward to every week. We'll have a couple of discussions about what's going on in our live, and then a couple more discussions more often. Oh my God! Sorry, side tangent. Poljarvi scored a hat trick.
Oh, yeah. He scored. Someone on my Tumblr, the Pens live blog, was like
twice in less than 30 seconds apart.
He literally said, he was like, or someone on the Tumblr live blog was like, I bet fucking Puljarvi is gonna get a hat trick. Like, they literally, I'm not gonna do it on stream, but I'm gonna go find them and be like, you
do it again. That's the witch shit. You gotta put it in the universe. Yeah. Except for the too many men call. Don't do that.
Yeah, we can go on another rant about the fact that we are witches and we make things happen. Hey, chat, if you have questions or you have a topic of discussion that you would like us to go over, you can send that in our Discord. We'll be making a channel just for Puck Witches.
Right now, you can just throw it into the sports witches thing.
Sports ball.
Yeah, sports ball.
That if you have questions or you have a topic that you want us to go over, or you can react to the episode and let us know what you thought of it. Any questions, comments, or critiques.
Yep.
Please keep the vibes happy, chill, and
that's it.
Because we do have a section called Vibe Check.
We
can
vibe
check you if
we have
to.
We can. But for now, that's gonna be it for us. Thank you so much for hanging out, Saint. You did great. A+.
Thank you.
We didn't lose our cool that much. Okay, you didn't lose your cool that much. Jeremy Swayman needs to be signed.
I could have.
But yeah, so we do have, we're gonna hit you with the socials. So we have a Discord, we have a YouTube channel, which is the episode will be going up as soon as we can. And then we have a TikTok that I need to update and, get some Night Witches and Puck Witches stuff going up on there. And we also have a Twitter where you can follow and look at the latest updates. Saint has a Twitter, Saint Astra, at Saint Astra. I have a Twitter at ChampCC1. You got anything else you want to promote? You want to do your ad read again? A different ad read?
It's just buy my stuff so I can buy a Leon Draisaitl jersey.
And that's going to be it for me. So there you go. Say bye, Saint.
Yep. Bye.